Hey everyone, is anyone else in the same situation as me? Lately, my wife keeps complaining that the kitchen knife is getting dull, not as sharp as it used to be. At first, I just laughed it off, thinking it was nothing, but hearing it repeatedly every day starts to get exhausting. My work keeps me busy, and going out just to buy a knife sharpener is such a hassle. With my wife constantly reminding me, I knew I couldn't ignore it. Even though it seems small, it affects daily life in the kitchen. One morning, while sipping my coffee and looking at the knife on the table, I suddenly figured out a way to handle this problem without much effort. So if you're in the same situation as me, don't overthink it, because I just came up with this idea. Here, I have a plastic tray full of bottle caps. My habit of collecting them has filled it up completely. I looked around and decided to pick 2 at random to get started. Next, I drilled a hole in the center of the 2 caps. We only need a small hole like this, so you should find a suitable drill bit before doing it. I just cut a square metal tube, 14 centimeters long and 2.5 centimeters wide. You can verify directly on the screen to confirm the size and shape of the metal tube. The next step is to position the 2 bottle caps on the metal tube. Before drilling the 2 holes, I'll mark the 2 points on the caps to ensure accuracy. If you look closely, you'll see I've drilled 2 holes in the metal tube that match the size of the holes on the bottle caps. The next step is to wrap a layer of sandpaper around the bottle caps to increase friction. In my hand is a sheet of 400 grit sandpaper, and I'll use it to wrap around the outer edge of the 2 caps. If you're having trouble with this step, don't worry. On the video screen, I've shown every detail step by step, so make sure you don't skip it. Here you just need to cut 2 pieces like this. Honestly, it only takes a bit of dexterity, no complicated skills required. To wrap the sandpaper around the cap's outer edge, we need to use hot glue or regular adhesive. You can make use of anything with good sticking power, as long as it works like the 2 I just mentioned. To secure the two bottle caps onto the metal tube, we'll need to use this set of bolts, nuts and metal washers. Now we've got a solid structure. The gap between the two caps is tiny, just enough for the knife's edge to slide in while keeping the heel from slipping through. With these two empty plastic bottles, I'm going to add some decoration to our knife sharpening tool. But if you'd rather skip straight to the main part, feel free to fast forward to the knife sharpening section. I'll attach two more bottle caps to make this tool look a bit more polished. So, what do you think this tool looks like? Personally, I find it pretty nice. But I imagine if my wife saw it, she'd probably lose her mind because instead of buying a new one, I went and made this DIY thing. Then again, who knows? If this tool actually works well, maybe our wives will change their minds after all. Alright, here's the quick way to sharpen your knife. Place the blade in the gap between the two caps, then pull it straight from heel to tip. Repeat a few times on both sides and the knife will be sharp again. Remember, before sharpening, spray a little water on the sandpaper so the knife glides smoother and sharpens more effectively. Don't get too carried away sharpening. From time to time, stop and carefully test the blade with your hand to feel its sharpness before putting it back in the kitchen. Just now, when I touched the blade, I could feel how incredibly sharp it had become. A quick wipe with a paper towel to clean it off, and it's ready to use right away. Take a moment to appreciate this result before deciding to make one for yourself. From just a couple of bottle caps, a piece of metal tube and a strip of sandpaper, we've managed to create a simple but reliable knife sharpening tool. To make it easier to find whenever you need it, you can thread a string through and hang it somewhere visible in the kitchen. That way, whenever your knife goes dull, you've got a solution ready at hand without a trip to the store. What's amazing is how these everyday throwaway items can come together into something practical. Instead of rushing to buy new gadgets, sometimes all it takes is a bit of observation and creativity to solve small household problems. It also reminds me that creativity doesn't always mean having the latest equipment. It's about making the most of what's already around us. Once you adopt this mindset, you'll find many household tasks become more fun and rewarding. Of course, if you're dealing with a specialty knife or need professional precision, a proper sharpener is still the best choice. But for most everyday cooking, this hack is quick, effective, and saves both time and money. And beyond the practical use, there's a special satisfaction in building something with your own hands and then seeing it work so well. I hope you'll give it a try, or at least take it as inspiration to come up with your own ideas. And if you discover an even better version along the way, don't hesitate to share it. Your idea might be exactly what someone else has been looking for. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss upcoming tips. And don't forget to tap the notification bell so you'll always be among the first to know when new videos are posted. See you in the next one, and until then, keep that creative spark alive in your kitchen.